Welcome to lesson 5 on JShell. In this lesson we're going to look at the autocomplete and code assist that comes with JShell. So let's get to it. Now, using tab with JShell is a form of code assist and type of autocomplete. Now what I've got here is I'm starting under, I've opened my terminal under the directory where I've got my previous code stored. So I'm going to start JShell this time in verbose mode. So I'm going to say JShell -v for verbose. And there, as you can see, I've updated my version of Java to version 17. Now if I say 2+2, and it's giving me the verbose description. It's giving me description and what it created, a scratch variable and I'll type and so on. Just to prove it, if I go and set my feedback mode to the normal mode, which if I didn't put the -v there, I'm going to say set feedback normal, and it tells me I'm in normal mode. And now if I say, let's say 4+4, and you see it doesn't give me as much information as before. It's not as verbose. Okay, so I'm going to set it back to set feedback to verbose, so that we got the most feedback we can get from JShell. Okay, if you want to know more about the verbose and setting feedback, you can go look at JShell lesson 2, starting, exiting and getting help in setting feedback levels. Okay, for more information on that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my lesson 3's work that we saved last time. So I'm going to say open lesson 3 JSH, and there it's loaded my previous work of lesson 3. Now if you want to know more about the open command, you can go look at JShell lesson 4 open save list and the reset commands in JShell. Okay, so now let's start with the tab. If I just press the tab, it tells me press tab again to see all possible completions, and there is a total of 556 possible completions. So if I press tab again, you see it gives me a whole list of possible, and it's the interfaces and the classes and so on it is giving me. Now we've been using the system class from the Java lang package to output to the screen, you know, the System.out.println and so on. So let's see how the auto tab works using, say, the system class. I'm going to say system followed by the tab, and you'll see it gives me the signature of the system class java.lang.system. And if I press tab again, it says here press tab again, and it gives me the documentation, a short version of documentation. The system class contains several useful class fields and methods and so on and so on. Now take note, if you get a message such as documentation or something doesn't exist, then you need to set up your system so that it sees the documentation. I used Ubuntu as a Debian based system, so I installed it, the source, with the following commands: the sudo apt install open jdk 17 source, which I'll post here, but else you guys will have to go and Google on how to set up your system so that it sees the source files. But type system dot and tab, and now it will give me the fields and the methods, as you can see over there. So if I go and take one of these, let's take the out here, system dot, and I say out and tab, and there it gives me the signature for that static field out, that it calls a java.io.println stream, and if I go and press tab again like it says there, it will tell me the standard output stream. The stream is already open, ready to accept any output data and so on, and that's what we usually use when we're pressing the system print line. So let's go try that. If I press a dot after that one, and it gives me the methods that I can use on the print stream. And now we usually use the print line, so if I say print line is the method, and if you recall we used a let's say print line tab, and you see all the print line methods, and it can take no parameters, or a boolean, a char, a int, a long, a float, and so on, object. So if I try now System.out.println, and one of my methods of my previous lesson 3, cube me, and I tab it, and it tells me I must put in a comma, and if I tab it again, it shows the cube me. Over there you can see signature double, cube me takes a double. And if I try, let's say S tab, and all the possible, there's a scratch variable S1 I could use, and short and sun and so on. Let's try C with a tab, and it gives me all the commands, and you see there's my cube me method, there's a course, there's char, course was one of my variables, and so on. So if I try now, let's say the dollar, and followed by the tab, and it gives me all my scratch variables. And what if we try a command with a tab? Let's just say the forward slash that indicates a command and a tab, and you see it gives me basically my commands that I can use. And if I press a tab there again, it gives me a synopsis of all my commands. And let's say I put in a letter, let's say E, and tab, and it gives me the edit, environment, and exit. And if I press that one again, it gives me a synopsis of those. Okay, I'm just going to exit now. In this lesson we had a look at the autocomplete function that ships with JShell. I hope you learned something from this lesson, and please be free to put your comments in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, it's free. Press the like and notify button so that you'll be notified when I publish more content. I also got a Facebook page related to this channel that you're welcome to visit. See you at the next lesson, where we'll carry on exploring JShell. Happy coding!